there, YouTube! Daryl back at you again for another episode of Daryl's Vape Tape. So today, we're going to be doing a sub-ohm matchup, alright, of two of the probably biggest heavyweight sub-ohm tanks on the market right now, okay? We got the TFV4 and the Uwell Crown. And honestly, up until this point, up until about 3 weeks ago, I thought that the TFV4 was far none the best sub-ohm tank on the market, alright? And I was definitely under a misconception. I just got my hands on the Uwell Crown a couple weeks ago, and man, I'm pretty surprised. It definitely lives up to all the hype of, everybody tells me the Uwell Crown is the best sub-ohm tank, and it definitely lives up to the hype. It is an awesome sub-ohm tank. Now, do I think it handles high wattages like the TFV4? No, but honestly, I don't think any sub-ohm tank on the market handle wattages like the TFV4 does. So, I mean, there's a little wiggle room right there, okay? And, there's a couple different things that we're going to look at today. Of course, we're going to look at flavor. We're going to look at cloud production, and we're going to take a look at these coils. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the, what you get in the package, and things like that, alright? So, where I want to first start off on this, this episode right here is I definitely want to dive down and take a closer look at those coils. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So we're looking at the coils close up right now, and you can see that the TFV4 it trumps the Uwell Crown. But in the sub-ohm game, the Uwell Crown coil is, probably only one of the coils that is, a comparison to the TFV4. The TFV4, you can see it, just eats the Uwell Crown coil alive. But like I said, if you look at like an Atlanta style coil, the TFV4 coil just trumps it really big. And you can see that the Uwell Crown coil is still a really nice coil. But in the coil game, the TFV4, just like the Uwell Crown and probably every other sub-ohm tank, the TFV4 is going to take the cake on that category. The coils are just massive. I don't even know if you could put a bigger coil in a sub-ohm tank than the TFV4. So I just wanted to look at, a close-up look at the coils real fast just to kind of show you guys a comparison. The comparison, you can see the Uwell Crown coil is a lot smaller than the TFV4. You can see down here on the bottom, it's got 4 air hole slots versus 2 air hole slots. You can see the wicking holes. It's got 4 wicking holes right there. You can see now this has 12 wicking holes. You can see 4 there, and you spin it all the way around, it has 4 more. So, you can tell that this is going to eat a lot more juice than this, so this is going to conserve a little bit more juice. But this coil right here, you can just see, you were just going to pump some big clouds with that kind of coil and eat a lot of juice. This tank drinks juice like nobody's business. So, why don't we go back up top and take a couple more vapes on it and talk a little bit. Alrighty. So, after looking at the coils, you guys can probably already guess that the TFV4 is a better coil than the Uwell Crown. I'm not saying maybe not better flavor or better things, but we'll get into that as a second. But as far as sizing is concerned, the TFV4 is the biggest sub-ohm coil on the market. So it's kind of hard to match up to that. But let's get into flavor, alright? So the first thing I want to do is I want to run about 80 watts, alright? So I got the 0.2 coil in the Uwell Crown right now, and I want to run about 80 watts. I want to feel out flavor, 80 watts on both tanks. So let's take a vape. Man, the flavor on that Uwell Crown is pretty fucking amazing. I don't know if the TFV4 is going to be able to hang with that. So let me crank this sucker down to about 80 watts. I want to match them up pretty close to each other. I want to match them up same watts, same watts. So let's take a vape on the TFV4. Alright, same juice. I'm vaping on milk in both tanks, and the Uwell Crown, hands down, better flavor. Definitely better flavor out of the Uwell Crown. It's an amazing tank. I really do like it. And the flavor out of that tank is bar none, okay? Top tank on the market for flavor, okay? Awesome flavor out of the Uwell Crown, so it's definitely going to take the cake on that one. And over the TFV4, flavor for Uwell Crown, alright? So let's go ahead and ramp these suckers up and take them up 100 plus watts, alright?
So let's take this Uwell Crown. Let's pump it up to 110 watts. The flavor is still there. I mean, the flavor is definitely there. And you get you chuck some pretty nice clouds with this. But honestly, I don't think the Uwell Crown is going to be comparison to the TFV4 at 110 watts. So let's crank this TFV4 up a little bit. 110 watts TFV4. Let's take a vape. Yep, TFV4 for cloud production and holding the flavor at higher watts. I'm gonna have to go with the TFV4. You know, and these tanks are really, they're kind of comparable for sure. I mean, you know, the TFV4 holds 5 mils, the Uwell Crown holds 4 mils. You guys seen the coils? They're close enough, closer than most coils are to the TFV4. So for flavor, you got the Uwell Crown. For the coils, TFV4. For cloud production, you got to go with the TFV4, okay? All right, so let's go and just crank it up to 150 watts and max these suckers out. I haven't pumped the Uwell Crown up to 150 watts yet, but I definitely have done it with the TFV4. So 150 watts, TFV4, let's take a vape. Yeah, I mean, the cloud production, I could fill this whole fucking room in 3 or 4 vapes with that TFV4 at 150 watts. Let's see how the Uwell Crown does. 150 watts, Uwell Crown. Yeah, I mean, for cloud production, the TFV4 is going to take the cake on that, alright? And a lot of the things that I talk about in this video are going to be, all going to be subjective. Everybody vapes a little different. I like a really hot, warm vape, so, you know, usually I'm vaping on the TFV4 at 100 plus watts. As I'm vaping on the Uwell Crown, it's usually in between 80 to 90 watts, alright? And like I said, it's all going to be subjective. You guys are going to have to get your own opinion, maybe try both tanks out, alright? So let's get into the packaging a little bit, alright? TFV4 comes with an RBA section and a backup coil and a coil installed, backup glass, O-rings, vape bands, all that good stuff, alright? And it's right around 30 bucks, alright? The Uwell Crown, it comes with 2 backup coils, the coil installed, backup glass, and some backup O-rings. So, pretty comparable on that. The Uwell Crowns, I mean, honestly, lately I've seen it about 20 bucks, alright? So the price point, little bit different. But the TFV4 came with an RBA section, which is an awesome, awesome bonus, alright? I'm so glad that I got the RBA section in the TFV4. I use it all the time. It's phenomenal, okay? So I wish that the Uwell Crown came with the RBA section, and it would probably take the cake on that. But I'm going to have to give the packaging to Smok and the TFV4, okay? They did great on that. Tons of things that you get with the package. It's just an awesome deal, okay? So, at the end of all of what I've said, I think that I'm going to have to give the cake to TFV4, okay? And that's just me, because I like vaping at higher watts. And I like the TFV4 when I bring it 100 plus watts, okay? So that's my opinion. That's what I take on these two tanks. And I mean, they're both awesome tanks. I mean, you could get either one of them and you're going to be very impressed, alright? So TFV4, a better tank than the Uwell Crown in a couple different categories, alright? So the Uwell Crown, still a good tank, still an awesome tank, great flavor out of this tank, good clouds. With the TFV4 all the way around the board, a better tank, alright? So let's go ahead and take a vape, finish this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and good vaping, YouTube.